So those
Dinosaurs.
that gives us six good topics we can dive into. We'll definitely look at adding those to the calendar over the next month or so. So be ready for that. Let's do some bucket fills. I appreciate you. Let's I love that. Thank you, Daniel. Daniel, right? Can we just give it up for Daniel? He's like rivers. They want to like crawl under tables when you start to show them gratitude in front of people. So
I got one. I'll bucket fill Daniel for filling the bucket already. Daniel was brought in one recruit Friday. He's got another recruit coming today. So
Yep.
Bring it ages.
Yep.
Awesome. So,
Love it.
Keep it up. Fill that down.
Mm-hmm. What other bucket fills we got? Yeah.
For us that gave us feedback to help us get a upcoming price reduction.
There we go. Nice work, Kent. Price reductions, right? Cindy's like, oh. All right.
Bring us an
Price reduction conversations, right? How many of us are having those more than we've had in the past? No, they're definitely here for a little while. What else? Other buckets, Christy.
Bucket fill my mama, real estate, Margaret, for loving on me and encouraging me and listening when I need help.
Yeah, love that. Thank you, Margaret.
Don't we all?
Paul.
Chris Stacy Rogers and Stephen Morrow.
Love it. Yeah. Thanks, Sean. What else we got? You know what I noticed from up here that you all don't get to see is when we get the bucket fills and you'll start sharing gratitude, all of your faces change. Good. You all went from present to present. Every one of you. Isn't it amazing what gratitude can do? Right? It's often not looked at as something that can totally change something, right? Like can totally change your day, totally change your outlook, right? Totally change the feeling of a room. The whole energy changed. You might not have felt it, but I saw it. And it happened. So any other bucket fills? Randy.
I want to bucket fill Josh for always getting things done in a timely manner, and also for helping me secure my office.
There you go. Love it.
Awesome.
Randy's moving in. Cindy.
I want to bucket fill Christy Valvinson for being so kind and how thoughtful she is, writing notes and sending people flowers. It's very special. Makes you feel really special.
Love that. Love that. We've got we didn't get a slide for this one, but bucket filling those of you, because we don't know everybody that's helped either, that have helped with things going on in our communities. A couple of weeks ago in the heat wave, the worst of the weeks, Christy organized with the nonprofit that she's a part of on the board to donate water, and we helped with water for people that are unhoused and helping them. And then last week, Mebane had no water. Do they have water yet? Are we back? We're back. Mebane has water again. And yet we had over $600 donated to go buy water last week for that as well. So thank you to those of you that know you participated and giving back to the communities around us. So appreciate that. Josh. That's right. Love it. Love it. Perfect.
Quicker you get it in, the quicker we crank it out.
That's right. 2 business days, y'all. 2 business days from signing those documents. July birthdays. Chris Anderson, Linda Smith, Lorraine Parker, Lester Triplett, Vasu Kavirayani, Megan Stewart, and Jonathan Hyatt. Happy birthday. I don't think any of you are in the room today. Jonathan Hyatt is our newest agent. Just joined us last week, and Wayne Wilson came right at the end of June. So welcome to Wayne and Jonathan. All right, the Extra Mile Award goes to. Oh, he wrote a story.
Talk about extra
Do I need all that? You're online. Oh, sweet. All right, so I just want to start by saying, when River sent me the video of Cindy giving me the Extra Mile Award, there was one person who immediately came to mind. I think I actually looked at Andrew and said, "This is who's getting it next month." And honestly, they couldn't be more deserving. To me, the Extra Mile Award is given to someone who consistently shows up, not just to do their job, but goes beyond what is expected. And it's for a person who jumps in without being asked, offers support without hesitation, and brings a positive, steady energy to everything they do. This is someone you can always count on, the one who makes things smoother, lighter, and better for everyone around them. A quiet leader, a constant encourager, the kind of teammate who strengthens our culture simply by being in the room. They don't do it for the attention or recognition. In fact, so much of what they do behind the scenes. But today we get the chance to pause and give them recognition they absolutely deserve. And this award goes to someone who truly defines what it means to go the extra mile, and that someone is Kim Baber.
I didn't know who I mean, I knew who it was because I saw the paper, but I didn't know who it was till you got to the end. Like, thank you, Kim. Yeah, we got to take the.
What? Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
And the Extra Mile Award continues. Thank you, Kim. All right, let's celebrate some June cappers. Jeff and Judy Weinstock, Captain 1 month. Captain 1 month. Randy, congrats. Natalie Maroney. Jim Wooten. Cindy Dudley. Congratulations, cappers. Now, for some really big numbers, June was quite the month for many of you. Top performers in the solo agent category, the third highest, producing $1.98 million. Second top producing agent, $4,000. That was a close one. $80,000. It was close. However, this person, I think, one of the biggest deals in their career for the first place top individual agent, June 2025, Jim Wooten, $2.69 million. Congrats, Jim. That was the biggest one in your career, right, Jim? And it was $2,075,000. Yep. All right. Top sales teams. Teams are two. Delta Homes, which is Patricia Roberts and Leah Graham, $773,000. Second top performing team, Mike and Carrie McCann with $900,000. And top performing sales team for the month of June 2025, Glidewell Properties, $961,000. I love you all, and I say this with care and candor, but Jim outperformed all three of you combined. Don't say that. Don't say that. All right. Top performing groups. Third highest performing group, the Melissa White team with $2,012,000. Second highest group, the Weinstock team with $3.118 million. And the top performing sales group for the month of June, the Rachel Z team with 4.41 million. Nice work on a wonderful June. Let's keep it going. And this just goes to show you, you all have opportunity, right? You can all make it because it changes every month. We've got different people on the board. So keep going. All right, let's talk about some updates, some things that are coming. You all might have watched this video last month for those of you that were here. A quick update on the Canva relationship, if you haven't heard about it yet. All right. If you want more info on it, you have questions about it, you can scan this. The partnership is coming. We've been told in quarter, and I believe it's probably going to come within a camp, if I had to guess, knowing my tenure with KW and how those things shake out. It's probably going to be in those couple weeks following Mega Camp. This is a full integration with MLS as well, is what we're being told. So you're going to be able to pull photos straight from your listings right into graphics. If you're looking for additional automation beyond what this provides, let me know. I'm working on another partnership for us with another tool that will also create some additional leverage for you. We've done some studies at KW from a corporate perspective, and we know that marketing is one of the most important things for you as agents, and it's one of the tools that you want more of, right? You want more help, more assistance, more guidance on those things. We're working on those partnerships to help you continue to engage and leverage those things. How many of you even know what the KW intranet is? Good many hands. Anybody remember that email you used to get every day,
Yeah.
right?
Still do.
And so some of you still do. Some of you have gone in and posted like updates on your properties, or you send information out to the office through it. Some of you that are on Agent on Duty, you use it to schedule Agent on Duty. For those of you that schedule conference rooms, you use it to schedule conference rooms. We've known this was going away for over a decade. We didn't know it was going away this month until last week. So effective July 31st, the intranet is going away. It is a blessing, and yes. So all of your reports are moving into Command. And we will have updates for you on exactly how to access those as agents. And we don't have all of the exact details yet, but they're all moving into Command. They will all be there effective by July 31st, if they're not there already. So profit share, multi-year trends, closed sales, all of those are moving into Command. So be on the lookout for that. We'll get you more information as we have. If you're an agent on duty and you volunteer on the agent on duty schedule to get those leads from the front desk, Rivers will be communicating with you. We have a new Calendly link set up for you to schedule those times with reminders. All those things will be there. So that's happening. We're still working on conference rooms and other inter-office communication pieces. How do we take that to the next level? Because we know things get lost in the Facebook group. So we're working on that.
So the AOD
Mike.
calendar opens up at 12 o'clock today.
So it's going to be slightly delayed because you're going to get an email from Rivers
Okay.
to open that calendar
It'll
up.
happen today.
It's still happening today. We are ready. We built that Friday. Knowing
We don't want to go into.
you're not going to schedule in the intranet. Yeah. You're not going to schedule in the intranet. So yeah, we just literally found out last week when we logged in. It was like, oh, it's going away. Great. Thank you. If we were to create a community space that's not in Facebook, that is online driven, that has an app, we could host live events, we could live stream into that group. Is that something you all would use? Would you be interested in? We'll send out a survey because that's a mixed review. We'll see what you all think about that. I don't want to throw one more thing for you all to have to log into. All right, here's a handful of save the dates. There's plenty more that you can read about in the week ahead. We have an agent social this Friday. It's a firecracker pop-up. Come cool off and enjoy some popsicles with us. As an agent social, that's this Friday from 11 to 1 in the agent workroom upstairs. Mark Brenneman. Who knows who Mark Brenneman is? Who wants to tell us who Mark Brenneman is in 15 seconds or less? Who is he, Cindy? He's the regional director for the Carolinas. He's been in the Carolinas for well over a decade now. He's the regional director. He oversees 40 plus offices in the region. He's one of our Keller Williams University master faculty members. He is coming here next week on Thursday, July 24th. We just found about this last week too. July 24th at 11:30. So if you're in town, we'd love to have you. Lunch will be here. Elizabeth's joining us for lunch from America's Preferred Home Warranty. Lunch will be here. He's leading a mastermind. We'll start at 11:30. It'll go till about 1. And he's bringing current market information, other things you want to talk about. We definitely would love to have you in the room for that conversation. Cappers and Curious, some of you remember that happening. It got canceled the end of Q1 because the vendor that sponsors it had a scheduling conflict. So Cappers and Curious, that's for anybody that's capped in Q1 and Q2, and any new agents that join us in Q1 and Q2. You're invited to lunch with us on Wednesday, July 30th. The invites are coming to you directly if you're in that group of people, right? And then we are planning the annual picnic that is our vendor appreciation picnic. Also, this year is the 20th anniversary of this KW office. Crazy? 20 years. So we are planning a KW homecoming vendor appreciation picnic in that we're going to invite past KW agents to join us as well. To just throw a 20th. Hey, that's, it might or might not be intentional. So that's Thursday, September 4th. It's a tentative date that we want you to hold it. It's that evening. It's typically in an evening. That's a Thursday after Labor Day weekend. So none of you are going to be leaving town for Labor Day weekend. Thursday, September 4th. We're just waiting on confirmation from the park. All right. 2 last vendor pieces, and then we'll cover a couple other things before we have lunch in our Lunch and Learn with Tim. How many of you know who Heritage Title is? You all probably know the name, right? You might not know what they do. Why is title important? Why is having a title company important? Elizabeth.
It helps you find any kind of liens or any kind of debt or any burdens that are on that house before it closes, so it doesn't transfer or bring those on closing or future buyer.
Yeah, so a title search, right, is looking for all those things. And then we have title insurance. And what does title insurance do? It cleans up a mess, or if a mess is found later, right, it cleans up that mess. It covers that attorney cost. There used to be an attorney in town that had their own title company, and they're now defunct. They're gone. And lots of title policies were not issued because the title company wasn't a reputable title company. Now, that's not to say there aren't other reputable title companies out there. However, we have a partnership with Heritage Title. Washburn. Was it Washburn?
Well, they weren't in town. They weren't.
Right, but they did a lot of this office's closings. Like a lot of this office's
We have
closings.
one that we're fixing right now.
So
The deed wasn't
we have
recorded.
deeds that have never been recorded by this attorney. We have title issues with title policies that were never purchased. So this is why it's important for you to be involved with your attorney in picking a title company. It doesn't mean you have to use Heritage Title for your clients. However, there are reputable companies that have been around for decades, right, that are more reliable to support you and back you up and your clients on future deals, so you're not having to go fix problems down the road. So Heritage Title is a partner with us. They're backed by Investors Title. And that's the company that has been around for, I think it's well over a century now. I mean, they're have a long-standing, good company. Our partnership with Heritage Title, how many of you know what they do for us? Because they come and talk about what they do for you and your clients. How many of you know what they do for us as agents? Anybody? A couple of you. So how many of you were at the awards breakfast in March? The awards brunch? Many of you. That's paid for by Heritage Title. How many of you came to the holiday party last December? That's paid for by Heritage Title. So that money comes to us when your clients use them for title. We make some of that money back as a company to reinvest in events and opportunities for you. The more we use Heritage Title with our clients, the more money we get to spend on you to bring in some of the trainers that you want us to bring in and do more than just an awards brunch and a holiday party. So I want you all to know that, right? We often don't talk about that in front of you. And it's not that we keep it a secret. It's just that we haven't talked about it.
Well, we have to sign the disclosure.
And you have to sign a disclosure, but how many of you have actually read that disclosure? Some of you have, right? And I'm not asking you to like raise your hands. Some of you haven't, and that's okay. Go read it next time before you send it to your client to sign it. You all have to do the disclosure. I'm not asking you to do the selection form. What I'm asking you to do is when you send the contract to the attorney, will you copy info@heritagetitllc.com? It doesn't mean your client has to use Heritage. It doesn't mean the attorney has to use Heritage. What Heritage is going to do is they're going to see if they can save your client money. If Investors Title or Heritage Title wrote the policy the last time the house was sold, there's an existing policy, your client can get a discount on their title insurance policy. By you copying Marla, I think you've done this before. And Mary Lauren responds back and she does what?
She says we either have that or we don't, and we can still assist if we need help.
No, it's just putting it in front of them to check, right? They're checking it. If there's an existing policy, it's putting them in front of the attorney so the attorney can get a quote for it, right? It's putting them in the process.
But it is on the buyer side.
This is on the buyer side,
This is-
yes.
Let's, because.
Sorry.
Listing agent. I
It's-
need to kind of clarify.
and-
Listing agent,
and-
I could.
If you could still copy on a listing agent, the attorney in, because Heritage or Investors still might have the prior policy, and could you save the buyer some money? Yeah.
It could be a decent savings.
And if the seller's paying closing costs, right, it could save some money. So I don't want to harp on the point. I just want to bring it to your attention. A lot of you have heard Carla and Mary Lauren and others come up and talk about title, and you're like, oh, the title conversation. The attorney handles that. I don't want to deal with it. Right?
There's so much to go on.
Right? Because there's a lot of other things going on, and yet I want you to know how it impacts you at the end of the day. Right? And giving us.
Andrew, if I could,
I'm come back to that, Pete. Yes.
I will harp on the point that if it's on the buy side, the buyer has to sign the disclosure.
Yeah.
It's a RESPA violation. If they don't, RESPA violations come with price tags of $10,000 and up. And your E&O insurance will not cover that. So if you, unless you just want to spend 10 grand, if you do, I'll give you my Venmo. I'm happy. So again, it is a disclosure, affiliated business disclosure. We talked a little bit about it 2 weeks ago. And some of you remember I said, you got no problem on that D.R. Horton contract having your buyer sign off on that whole page of business affiliations. It's the same thing. We only have one.
Yep. So that's the disclosure is required. What's not required is the selection form, which is what most people have a problem with. Because we don't want to say, well, you have to use this company. I get that. I understand that. Yet copying info@ doesn't mean they have to use Heritage. They're going to check and see if they can save them money. Pete, to that point, sometimes it can be $50 or $60. Sometimes it can be several $100s, depending on the cost of the house, the cost of the policy, and how long the pre-existing policy has been in place. There's all kinds of factors.
Pretty much if they have it, it's a policy guaranteed to save money.
Yeah.
If they're not
Yeah.
And investors' rights, like, what, right, 70% of the policies?
Yes, investors writes most of the policies in the state of North Carolina. So you could save your clients money. It also helps the attorney because Mary Lauren's going and doing a search to already get their title work started for them, essentially. And if investors already has the policy or Heritage has the policy, we're saving that attorney time and effort on the front end. So as you're working with those partner attorneys, right, something that could help you continue to.
Heritage usually emails back before the attorney that.
Has even acknowledged the, yeah.
Because I'll do an email that has the offer to contract, executed contract to the attorney, Heritage and the lender, this is what we've got, and attorney, can you do this date? Heritage, do you have this? And so the lenders, and I'm a loop too, and yeah, Heritage is usually faster than anybody else.
Yeah, they're on it. Yep. Any questions on Heritage? Okay. I don't have a slide for Elizabeth, but I'm gonna have Elizabeth come up and she's her own slide. She's like, Elizabeth shows up.
Any more slide jokes?
You do the electric slide.
The electric slide. Here, let me give you this in case there's someone listening.
That's so tiny.
It is tiny.
So if there's anyone in the room that doesn't know me, I'm Elizabeth with America's Preferred Home Warranty. We are your home warranty partner in real estate. I have a rhetorical, it's not rhetorical question. I have an actual question. Is it, as an agent, is it your responsibility to make financial decisions for your homeowners? No. So if somebody came in with a low ball offer, you can't go, go back and think about that again and come back when you can't do that. You got to present everything, right? So just like he was talking about homeowners insurance and home title, they're all monitored by the CFPB, Consumer Financial Bureau, Protection Bureau. And so is home warranty. So in that loop, and the homeowners insurance and home title is required. A home warranty is not required. However, it's no less important. So by not having the conversation with homeowners, you are making a financial decision automatically by default for your homeowners that they're just going to be paying 100% for the new repairs if something were to break after the sale. It is vital that you have the conversation for many layers that your homeowners, sellers and buyers, both asking if they need a warranty or if they're interested in using a warranty. If they waive it, we cover your errors and omissions deductible up to 75% regardless. So that's the other layer, is making sure that you're talking to your homeowners about the warranty. It is awesome for buyers. It helps offset the cost of repairs that they didn't anticipate if something were to break after the sale. But it's actually intended for sellers to help sell the house faster, sell it for more money, protect them during the listing, during the inspections, during due diligence, and after the sale legally, because we do pay legal fees if, God forbid, if they were to get sued after the sale. So just having that conversation of if you want, is it something you want to participate in? A lot of homeowners or agents are working them into the transaction, pricing the house at listing time to include the warranty. Buyer doesn't realize they're even paying for their own warranty. As a buyer, asking seller on the other side to provide it for your buyer at closing. Buyer's not even paying for the warranty, much less the repairs if something were to break after the sale. So there's a lot of ways, and I'd love to sit down with you one-on-one to talk about it. I am your person. I am here 24/7. Morning, noon, night, weekend, holiday, and vacation. I work realtor hours. The other part of our service now, we have started a new program. We call it the concierge program. I call it the white. I am your person. You can call me anytime if you have questions, have problems, need help, whatever. We have created a division that is giving that kid glove, white glove experience to your buyers. It is a dedicated person that when you enroll your buyer, and it's an extra step, I know it's a pain, but to go to aphw.com/welcome and just put in your buyer's name and contact information. You can actually schedule a day prior to closing. That exact day and time, we will contact them to introduce ourselves. their person will contact them to introduce themselves and let them know what the warranty is, what it does, what it's there for. Throughout the year, they'll reach out every 2 or 3 months to see how they're doing. If there's a claim or a problem, maybe they put on the back burner, not realizing it was a warranty issue, we can process it. If it's something they fixed out of pocket, not knowing that it could have been covered by warranty, we'll process it. Our concierge will contact me to do a concession. We'll contact you to let you know in every scenario what we're doing with your clients, to give you content to reach out to your clients and have those conversations. Our objective is to fix the problems before they hit your lap, because I imagine you'd like to go out there and just make money instead of dealing with warranty issues. So making sure that you're enrolling these homeowners, literally our call 24/7 800 number is depending on the weather across the United States. If it's super hot, the number's going to be backed up. If it's super cold, the number's going to be backed up in wait time. This is bypassing that, giving them a dedicated person that they can contact if they need help, have simple questions, big problems, little problems. And every single time we're in contact with your homeowner, we're going to bring up your name to keep you top of mind with your clients. So contact me if you have questions, need help just getting the enrollment for your buyers. And we're really pleased with this program to be able to give that white glove experience. So thanks for your time, and holler if you need me. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Elizabeth. All right, a few more things. Mega Camp, we're going to skip the video. Mega Camp is about 4 weeks away. There's still opportunity to go. There's still tickets, San Antonio, Texas. If you don't want to go to San Antonio, but you're interested in another mega agent type event, there is one coming to the region. Jay Papasan, I believe, is going to be one of the speakers. We're still waiting on the rest of the speaker lineup. That's in October, and it'll be in Cherokee, right? I got that right. So if you want to stay local, right, not have to fly to San Antonio, there's an opportunity for a local regional mega agent summit as well. I said skip the video. There we go. If you want more info about going to Mega Agent Camp, you still want to go. Tickets, I just looked, they're about $280 round trip to fly there, plus your ticket to get in, not the ticket to the event. Robbie thought I was talking about the ticket to the event. Someone told us the plane tickets were about $1,000 to get there. They're not. $280 round trip. Delta, Southwest, American. Pick your choice. They're all the same price. So if you want to go, August 11th to 14th. I know it's back to school time. So for some of you, it might not work in your schedule. Local event coming October. Real estate market update. That national update is available on the KW YouTube channel. I believe this link might not take you right there. They might have fixed it. But it is a KW YouTube channel. You can find those market updates. It's a playlist that updates every month. Oh, sorry, Jim. There you go. Command updates. We're not going to dive too deeply into this. I think Daniel touched on it the last team meeting. There have been personal website updates in Command. They've really allowed you to customize it a little bit more and take it to a whole new level. And so if you're interested in learning more about that, reach out to Daniel, or you could show up Thursdays from 11 to 1 in this space for tech implementation. He's here for you every week, those 2 hours to help with things like this. Whether it's something in your database, setting up smart plans, right? He's here Thursdays, 11 to 1. Mike.
I know last week, Google reviews or Google business pages, it took him, 45 minutes to get 2 people set up completely? So I thought it was great.
So he'll help you build those, make those things happen.
There's a lot of stuff too coming on the app. I'm doing some labbing right now with KWRI, so just be trying to make the app more usable because nobody uses it. Let's be honest, who uses the mobile app? Nobody. So
more than you
KWRI
think,
is
but
working
yeah,
on that.
yeah. I love it.
They're trying to make it better because the majority of us don't use it.
The Millionaire Real Estate Agent podcast, that's out there, still releasing every week, still great content. If nothing else, go pick up little nuggets about how to make your lead gen even better. The Keller Podcast Network has 4 other podcasts. The One Thing with Jay Papasan, Empire Building Podcast, The Color of Money, and Think Like a CEO. Again, all tons of value. that is overwhelming at times, right? We talk about just the number of classes we offer can be overwhelming, right? Pick one thing, pick something to continue to grow yourself, because one of our 6 personal perspectives is to be learning based, right? Leaders are learners, right?
That's what I like.
There you go. Social media, if you want help with that, there is every month they come up with a new list of prompts for you to use for social media. If you don't want to use ChatGPT, you don't want to go Google it, you don't want to figure it out yourself, it's at outfront.kw.com. It's there every month. You can find more there. Anybody seen this book yet? Rookie Real Estate Agent. I just got a pre-release copy last week as a university faculty member, and pretty excited about it. Jay Papazan wrote this one himself. And whether you're a new agent or an existing agent, I'm sure you'll find nuggets of gold in this book. He interviewed rookie real estate agents from across the years in various markets as research for this book. It'll come out early September. Skip Founders Day. Land Summit, Fort Worth, Texas. So those of you that might be interested in doing more in land, it's a whole community, and there is a summit in October in Fort Worth. Back to the QL Summit page real quick. QL Summit, or QL, is Quantum Leap for Kids, now called KW Next Gen. And this is, Gary wrote this class as a love letter to his son. And it's now taught across the industry, and people can qualify for scholarships. 14 recipients received $49.9 thousand in funds. They don't have to go to college to receive that money. They can use it to start businesses. They can use it to get into real estate. Any kid under 28 is eligible to take the class and apply for those scholarships. Let me know if you have someone interested, and we can get you connected there. As always, TCPA compliance, please make sure you're abiding by the do not call list and checking those numbers. There is no business to business exception. We also want to abide by CAN spam laws. Make sure you have permission to email people, permission to text people, permission to call them. We all want to avoid those fines. They start at $500. They go up to $20,000+ depending on what category you're in, and that's for one offense. One offense. Violating the do not call registry, I think, is $24,320 for the first offense. Not when you get caught, the first offense. So don't get caught. All right, it's time for lunch.
Go.
Oh, what?
Not don't get caught. Don't do it.
Oh, did I say don't get caught? I meant, thanks. I don't know where that came from. I needed a little bit of like comic relief. That's what it was. It wasn't a don't get, it is being recorded. It wasn't a don't get caught. It was a don't get caught doing the wrong thing. Don't do the wrong thing. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't seek Andrew for do not call list advice. Always consult your broker in charge. All right, Tim, you've got lunch. No, we can go through lunch and then you want to talk, or? Yeah, that's fine. We'll do that. So Tim has brought lunch for us. It is Mykonos. So get your lunch while Tim gets ready to come speak. And don't forget the silent auction ends at 12:30. So if you're over there bidding, make it happen. Appreciate y'all.
There you go.
I knew that was too easy.
Yeah.
I knew we were doing it
I
right.
saw the.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I know you guys are eating. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Tim Stratton with Cross Country Mortgage. We specialize in residential mortgages. I do not do any land, just so you know. I do refer most of that to Ag South. They should start giving me commission all the deals I've sent them, but they never do. Couple things I want to talk about based off of what you guys, Andrew was talking about here. One thing, the do not call list. I know I've shared this story in the past, and I'll share it again because it's worth sharing. I had purchased a dialer from a church, and churches are exempt from the do not call list. And I didn't scrub the list, and I called a guy. He called me back. Then I called him again. 2 phone calls. He sued me for $50,000. He was an attorney in Ohio, and he was what they call a professional plaintiff. Basically, it got to the point where I had to pay for an attorney, and I was already up to $5,000 in 1 month for an attorney. So it was either keep fighting it and have a chance to win, which you probably won't, or just settle. So I ended up settling with him for $5,000 and paying the attorney for $5,000. So I was out for $10,000. He said I called him twice, which I was returning his call, and I still got sued for that. So it's very simple. So if you guys have a thing to scrub, make sure you do that. And as far as title insurance, another thing that was big in the early 2000s, when I was doing loans in Ohio, up there, the title companies, down here, they don't do it anymore, which is great. North Carolina is one of the strictest states on its fees, which is very good because even people from, moving from out, east or even Florida and stuff like that, when they come over and they see our fees, they think, oh my God, this is nothing, because they're all set. One of them is title insurance. Your title insurance is what it is. $250 for the first $100,000, $2 for every 100,000 after that, or every 1,000 after that. So basically in Ohio, what they used to do, every county was different. Say that $250, well, the title company would charge $5. So they were making $250 on every insurance. So they were buying us. We loved them. Every Thanksgiving, I got a free turkey. Every Christmas, I got something. We used to go out every Friday. We would go out to the Shooters on the Water, it'd be $2,000 lunches. I mean, it was insane the amount of money. But with that, company started going out of business. You had to sign an insurance form, kind of what you guys are signing now, stating that if something happens, one, you're not responsible, but you have an insurance. It was an additional insurance on top of the insurance in case the title companies went out of business. So that's kind of something unique that happened all before 2007, 2008. So when you partner with someone like that, it's a good thing, and make sure you just cover your butt, basically. Some of the things I like to talk about, I'm going to talk about Cross Country Mortgage for a little bit, but I'm going to talk to you what's going on in the industry, which I think will help everyone. First of all, Cross Country Mortgage, we have a lower credit score than most. What happens is when the interest rates is high for this long a time, what people don't realize, it costs mortgage companies. So you see mortgage companies going out of business. You see loan officers going out of business. The people are, quitting because they're not making the money. So when the costs go up, everyone changes their parameters. So now underwriting gets harder. It's harder now to close a loan than it's ever been. I mean, it's tough. And I don't care if you have an 800 credit score with a 20% down, which I had last week. He was a professor. He was transferring from another company, but in his offer letter, it said stipend, which stipend for hourly employees is different from stipend for professors. On an hourly employee, that means if you go out of town, you stay in a hotel, you pay for it, they reimburse you, or they'll give you that money no matter what. You can sleep in your car, you still get that money. That's stipend for hourly employees. No lender will use that. So anytime you hear that, they will not use it. Stipend for professors is a little different. That's just money. They can go teach an extra class. They're going to get that money regardless. So that was a tough one that we ended up having to close because it was a little tricky because it said stipend in there. So that's just an example of how hard it is getting to close loans. And that's with everyone. Now, a lot of other lenders are changing their minimum credit scores. We're still at 580. A lot of them are at 600, 620, 640. So there's a lot of that going on. And then your debt to incomes. We still have 57% debt to income for FHA, 60% for VA, 50% for conventional. Most places stop at 40 to 45. What that means to you is obviously the values are going up and the income's not catching it. So we can still approve your clients for more than our competition can. So that's one thing that's, different about us. So just keep that in mind when you put an offer. If they get turned down by someone else, please send them my way. I love talking to people who's turned down by somebody else, especially when I am able to get them approved. You have a client for life after that. So couple things I want to talk about with the market. Well, one other thing, we're all in here trying to help each other, team effort, trying to close loans. A lot that's been popping up lately is down payment assistance. Okay. Everyone knows about the North Carolina down payment assistance, $15,000 here for that, minimum 640 credit score, but you have to live in the house for 15 years. I don't necessarily agree with it, but if you have to use it, you have to use it. Couple things that we do personally. We have what we call a Chenoa. We can give them 3.5%, which is the minimum down payment for FHA. We'll do the 3.5%. They just have a minimum credit score of 600. And then, ideally, if you can get the seller to pay for some of the closing costs, which is happening a lot more now, or back to, pre-2020 when that was happening, they can still get in the house with no money down. So that's one product we have. Another product we have, it's a conventional one. We will give up to 2% of the loan amount for $4,000. So $200,000 or $4,000 for anyone who qualifies based on their income. The income is based on average medium income. So basically around here, they have to make at least less than $60,000 per person. So if they make less than that and they're buying a house, we can give them $4,000. The great thing about it is there's no bump, there's no second mortgage, there's no stipulations. We're literally, it's a grant. You're getting that money and that's it. So that's something that we offer. What's going on in the market that I think we all should know about, especially, and this goes for listing agents and buying agents. I don't know how many people in here, I was one of them. Anybody get a free roof for hail damage? Yeah, I see 4 or 5 people. Okay. It was great. We all loved it. Well, we're all going to start paying the price for it because right now, insurers will not insure a roof over 15 years. There's some of them out there. So now what you're having to do is prove that your roof is less than 15 years old or you will not get insurance. I just had to go to 3 insurance companies for a client last year. Yeah, a client last month, not last year, last month, because once they found out the roof was over 15 years old, they wouldn't insure it. Now, shingles are supposed to last 25 to 30 years. Yeah, some of them even go to 40 lifetime, but insurers are starting to do it. It's getting worse and worse and worse. So I just want you to be aware of that when you're listing a house or you're buying a house. It could come up. It didn't kill a deal for me last month, but it slowed the process down because we thought we were good to go all the way up. And then they said, no, we're not doing it. And some of these insurance companies, and I won't name names, some of them want to go out and check the house out first instead of just looking at the pictures. Some look at the pictures online. Some of them go to the house. So just be prepared for that because it's coming more and more and more now.
What about metal roofs that have a longer life expectancy?
I think they're fine with the metal. I haven't heard anything about metal roofs. Yeah, or just pay double and put on a metal roof. Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's
Sellers selling their houses in 20 years.
somewhat, that's what I'm saying. These are things that are coming. Another thing that's coming down the road that you have to be aware of. So a lot of, yes, Christy.
Agents, let me just say, drone photos are phenomenal, but they will show. And that has messed with a buyer on one of my listings.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, they look at the roof and say it's got whatever.
They can see much.
It wouldn't cover them.
And I had one, I don't think this was yours, Christy. I thought it was someone in here. They were selling a house and on the back of one of the roofs, it was missing shingles. That's a no-no. It's, and I want to get this misconception on here. Everyone thinks if you go conventional, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It's not true. They can still say something about that. One other thing I want to bring up about conventional that everyone thinks is not true. If you have the caps off of your electric outlets, an appraiser can come in and say, you need those covered or replaced. If there's exposed wire, it's considered health and safety. I don't care if it's FHA, VA, or conventional. We have one right now. Someone wanted to put an offer on, and the listing agent said they're not paying for anything. And there was 3 of them. I said, it's $3. All they have to do is go to Home Depot and put 3 caps on. That's it, and they won't do it. So
Still go with a lot of height issues too on front porches.
yes, that's FHA. But people think,
All you do there is just bicycle.
yep. But people think conventional.
I've done it for like 20 times.
Most realtors think conventional covers all, but it doesn't.
Way to find a loophole.
Go ahead, Beth.
Oh, I've done that.
if it's missing shingles. If a roof is missing shingles, that's a big no-no. I don't care if it's conventional, FHA, and with, like she was saying, like Christy was saying with drones. So another thing I want to go over that's going on in the industry right now. So everyone knows that, has everyone heard of Klarma or what's this, Afterpay, Zip, any of that? Okay, let's just say Joe wanted to go to what's that singer you always talk about? The singer, who's the hot singer right now? The girl? No, the other one. Taylor Swift. Joe's going to a Taylor Swift concert. He wants 2 tickets. They're $1,000 a piece. He can't afford it. You can go to Klarma. Klarma will pay that, and you make payments to Klarma or Klarma, Klarm, and what's some of the other ones? Zip. So here's what's happening now. So you have you're financing small purchases, and you're putting it. But here's what happens. It doesn't report to your credit. But here's what's going on, and this is every lender, every bank. Underwriters are like FBI agents. They catch everything. So what happens is when we turn in the bank statements and we say, here's their assets, they start going down these bank statements. They see a Klarma for 150, Klarma for 150. What is that debt? That's continuing debt. Now that goes on their debt to income. That can affect them closing a deal. And I try to catch all those ahead of time, but sometimes when you have 150 transactions in a month, you don't see them all. And there's so many different ones of them now. There's 3 or 4 or 5 different ones. If those are on people's credit, that's considered debt. That could be affect their debt to income. So I got one right now that it came in. He was paying $150 a month. Turns out it was parts to his car is $2,000. He still owes $750. So now I have to hit him for $100 a month for that debt. So these are things that are popping up. And I know everyone talks about, I've heard realtors and talk about this. You get close to a closing and all of a sudden, a day or 2 before closing, the lender says they can't close the deal. Like how, and you're thinking, how the heck can that happen? Well, in the beginning, if I think it's going to be a tough deal, I'll be very transparent to you. I'll tell you, these are our challenges. This is what we're going to have to overcome, this and that. But what happens is if you have a borrower who says, I make $50,000 a year, and they show you your W-2s. W-2s say $50,000. They've only been at the job for a year and a half. You calculate the year-to-date income so far, it's up to $50,000. That's great. Okay, we're going off $50,000. But then we get a verification of an employer, which takes about 2 weeks to get. And now it says out of that $50,000, $25,000 of it's overtime. Well, now we can't use that overtime. So he really only makes $25,000. So those are things that as you go along the process that can catch you. I try to ask people those questions ahead of time to avoid them. We have a pretty good pull-through rate. I would say a little bit right around 99%. So, but there are things that fall out. So these are things that we have to keep in mind when you're talking to your client. And, especially if you have someone who's a job jumper. If you have 3 jobs in 1 year, FHA won't even do a deal for you. 3 jobs in 1 year, FHA will not do a deal. I know. Yeah, I know. So it's just, those are things that we have to keep an eye on. We're seeing more renovation loans. We have the FHA 203K. That will give you, now it gives you up to $75,000. Now it's legitimate. It used to be $32,000. Now they will give you up to $75,000 in repair. For the new people in here, what that means is you have a house that is on the market for $100,000. You want to put $75,000 in repairs in it. That house has to appraise for $175,000 after the repairs. And you ask, how do they know that? Well, you get an estimate up front. Part of that estimate is a new roof, new kitchen, new windows, and it's called a subject to appraiser. The appraiser comes out once you do the purchase. He says it's worth $100,000 now. Once they do these repairs, it'll be worth $175,000. If he doesn't think it's $175,000, he'll say $150,000. Then you got to go back and adjust your repairs or adjust your money. But that's a FHA one. Conventional, unlimited. We can, as long as it appraises. Yes. Yeah. Licensed contractor, prefer one contractor, can't do it yourself. Even if you're a licensed contractor, you can't do it yourself. So that's what I think. Any questions on any of that stuff that I just talked about? Anything? And one thing Pete and Beth had asked me about recently, and they're not the first, this is like the 3rd time and then 2nd time on the same house, if for those renovation loans, if you have a house that's already started and had work done on it, no lender's going to give you a renovation loan on that. They won't do it. They're not going to pick up where somebody left off. Even if it's new construction, I had one where the contractor quit 3/4 through. They can't get a loan to finish it. You got to finish it cash. So those are things to look out for. Yeah, I felt bad for that person. I really did. They were 3/4 of the way done. So, but yeah, so keep an eye when you're talking to your clients, talk to them about the debt on their credit and the debt on their bank statements, because those are big things. Those are showing up more and more lately, and they drive me crazy, but underwriters don't miss them. They have a checklist. They go down, boom, 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 and they have to literally check everything off. That's why I don't miss them. Yes, Cindy?
March is a 15-year about, that's insurance. So you have no way of knowing about any of that.
No.
The insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you have 25-year roofs.
Yeah.
It should be- I mean, it's
You think it should be fine.
structural shingles.
Well, here's what I do. As soon as I get a contract, I always tell people, go get an insurance quote. And they never listen to me. And then 3 days later, I call them, go get an insurance quote. Okay, I'm gonna do it today. And then they don't listen to me. And then now we're 2 weeks in, I'm like, I can't submit this file. We can't submit a file till underwriting until we have an insurance quote. And that's literally one of the biggest things I tell them to do. And it's always the last thing we get. Customers don't think about it at all. They're like, oh, I'm going to give you my, W-2s, pay stubs and all that stuff. And on my card and everything we send them, it says homeowners insurance quote. I called a lady last night. She owns a house. She just put an offer, just got accepted. I said, okay, I need you to go get a homeowner insurance. She's like, what do you mean? I said, well, you know how you have homeowner insurance on your current house? Yeah. I need you to get a quote for the next house. Well, what do I need to do? Just call them up. Tell them you're buying this house. Give them the address. They'll look it up. You get the quote. And then insurance has underwriting too. And I don't know if you guys realize that or not. Every insurance policy has to go through an underwriter as well. So your agent might say, I think we're good here, but then it might go to their underwriter and the underwriter says, nah, we don't like this. We want to get this checked or this and that. So right now there's other agents and insurance companies we can go to, but eventually it's going to be across the board because, insurance is like the NFL. They just, whatever's one else person's doing successful, they're all going to copy it. It's a copycat.
So let's say the existing homeowners policy that they have in place.
Yep.
Could we go to their existing? what
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have
Oh, yeah.
And say.
You could call that agent. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
asking-
no, that's a very good solution. Yeah, you could do it. Because here's the thing that other people don't realize either. If you have a claim on that house, it's going to affect the buyer's insurance. And if the buyer has a claim that has nothing to do with that house, it's going to affect their insurance. I just had one right now. We're supposed to close tomorrow. His insurance company just dropped him because he had a flood insurance claim in an apartment, not even a house. So we had to scramble and get him new insurance to get the deal done. So those are things that are going on right now. But yeah, that's a great question. Have the current one say, hey, if we haven't had any claims, we like the roof, we didn't pay for the roof, we'll insure you. That's very possible. Kim was next. Go ahead, Kim. Yeah. You can. Most of them don't, but you can. Most of them don't listen to you, but you can. And here's the thing, it's free. Just tell them call whoever they have their car insurance with. Tell them to call and get a quote. Usually what I do is when I get an insurance quote, if I think it's too high and I've been doing this long enough now, I can tell when it's too high. Like if they bring me a Progressive quote and it's $3,000, I'm like, it's too high. Progressive doesn't really do homeowners insurance. Call this guy or this guy. Or if Nationwide comes up, which is the one that just dropped this one, it was actually a decent quote, but then they end up dropping them. So those are things that you have to look into. Yeah, Joe, what were you going to ask me?
So I'm seeing in the future, sellers are probably going to be doing more no representation on the roof part of the disclosure.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Well, there's a question on the disclosure form that says how old is the roof?
Gotcha. Okay.
And so I'm going to see in the future.
Right.
now,
Yeah.
Representation.
Okay.
So it's going to be up to the buyer's agent to probably get in bed with a.
And that's great. And that could work or the insurance company could just say, well, we think it's too old and not do it. So, but that's better.
Roofer that says,
That's the other thing.
guesstimate.
If you get a roofer, because that's what happens, they'll get an appraisal will be fine. Then the insurance company say, we need a roof. We want a roof inspector to go out there and tell us how much life is, because you want the life of at least 3 more years. That's the big thing, 3 more years. But also, most time you have a roofer who's going to go out and get that, they're going to tell you they need a new roof because they want the job. Exactly. So 3 years, 3 years, 3 years. Yeah, 3 years. They want 3 years on everything. 3 years on income, 3 years on life of roof. Just think 3 years on just about everything.
If you have an old roof, it's probably best to go for the
If you can get them to, yeah, yeah. So, all right. Any more questions about any of that?
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
So, all of you know that I look at all of your pieces of paper that go into command.
Here's us to do.
I know it does. So a lot of you are doing a disservice to your buyers because I see buyers paying $7,000, $8,000, whatever in a, what do you call it?
Closing cost?
In their,
Points?
yeah, no, loan origination.
Loan
fee.
origination,
Oh my
yeah.
God. Loan origination fee. Tim's is fixed.
1490. Yeah, 1490. So what she's saying is, and thank you for bringing that up. If you're going to go out, have someone buys a house for $500,000, most lenders and bank around here charge 1%. That's $5,000. On top of that, they can charge a not underwriting fee. There's I forget what they call it. 2 other fees they can charge, and they can be another $1,000. We have a flat fee of $1490, and that's it. So, which brings me to another point I want to bring up. I know you guys are taught this in class. I was going to do a board, but I'll just say it. When you talk about closing costs, everyone says 3%, 3%, 3%. It's not 3%. And I'm going to give you an example. If you have a $100,000 house and their attorney fees is $1,000, homeowners insurance $1,000, our fee $1,490, there's $3,400 right there, and you haven't even gotten to the taxes, insurance, all that stuff. So, and especially, and it changes the time of year. Right now, if you buy a house right now, well, technically last month, if you buy a house last month, you have to hold back the whole year's insurance because in North Carolina, taxes aren't due till January technically, but they're due in September. So the way it works is if you close in June, July, August is your first payment. So they need the whole 12 months up front. So that's why closing costs this time of year are a lot higher, and a lot of people start freaking out, especially when you're, the values have gone up, the taxes have gone up. When you see $3,000-$4,000 in escrow for just taxes, people freak out. Why am I paying that? It's not even my house yet. So that's why, because the time of year you close. So I would never do 3%. Ideally, and plus with that, all rates are costing points right now. So it's another thing to bring up. Every rate right now costs points, at least 1 point. So again, if you have a $5,000 house, I don't care what your credit score is, 500,000, it's going to cost you $5,000 to get that rate, any decent amount of rate. If you don't want to pay, you don't have to, but you're going to be up 7.5% rate, basically. So for the most part, all rates are costing points. So closing costs are higher. So if you were ideally, if you want to just put a number on it, I would say from 250 to 350, it's going to be about 8,000 in closing costs. That's everything. Homeowner insurance, taxes, insurance, escrow, lender, all that stuff. Once you get above 350, the best way you can do yourself an advantage, look up the taxes. If the taxes are 4,000, just go start from there. That's 4,000. Then you add attorney fees is 5,000. My fees, another 1,500, 5,500. And then you add in insurance and stuff like that. So when you get over to 350 to like 450, 500, you're looking at about 10,000 in closing. So they've gone up. Obviously everything's gone up. So that's just another thing too.
And with
So
the new offer, everything's on that first page, which makes it so much easier for everybody to remember. I love that, having everything right there.
perfect. Any other questions you guys have or anything that's going on in the industry? Up. We had 2 weeks ago, it was fantastic. 5 days in a row, they were going down, 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 down. Now, when I say going down, you don't see it's not going from 7 to 7 and 7.5, 7 to 6.5. 6, what it's costing going down, which means you can get a lower rate. So I was actually about 2 weeks ago, I was actually able to get someone down to 6.5. Or then this past week, they all went back up. We lost everything we gained. So it's literally a roller coaster right now. So ideally, the feds are supposed to drop theirs a quarter in either August or September, which will help us. It'll bring ours down a little bit. So, but who knows? Who knows? We'll see. It's a roller coaster. That's all. And listen, it's getting harder and harder to close loans for everyone. It's getting harder and harder to do deals. We just got to think outside the box, do some renovation loans, things like that, other type of loans. So, all right. Well, you guys, most of you know my office is in the building here. If you have any questions, stop by and see me. I appreciate it. Thank you. You're welcome.